Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat, and I'm back with another Christmas in July project. My theme this time was Christmas past. I don't often do vintage type designs when it comes to my Christmas cards. I will admit it's not my go-to. And also this paper just was not speaking to me as something that I loved. I turned it into something I loved. So there you go. Sometimes we have to just push ourselves out of our comfort zones. Although you will know that most of the paper gets covered up by the end. My idea for this one was to definitely try and get some use out of those paper dolls. I've only got a few left. Again, I bought them. Don't really use vintage. I've had them for years. So they're slowly getting used up. Then I remembered about this foil plate that I had bought in the sale at Spellbinders, and I thought, ooh, could make this because it's kind of like a little bit of an Art Deco-ish type of design. And I thought, oh, yep, this could work. So I do take this off camera for a bit because I decide that I'm not going to do the whole glimmer machine thing, waiting for it to warm up, etc. on camera. So whilst it was warming up, I did do a bit of a tidy up. But yeah, I chose the shiny gold and just let it sit there until it was all ready. You can see here I'm still tapping my fingers because I put the camera on a little bit too early still. But you know what? I just love my glimmer machine. I love the look of foiling. I just think it's so pretty and it's so easy. I don't always get the best foiling result. There is a little bit where it's over foiled on this one, but generally just love it. So it's very unusual for me that I will use my foil machine and use my glimmer machine and just do the one thing. On this occasion I did. I was quite busy on this particular day, and after doing this little bit, I do actually disappear off for several hours and then come back later to finish the card. So this is me pre-shower, having lunch, doing stuff, etc. And then I come back. Here we go. I'm back now. I've got changed back into my pyjamas because we only do crafting in pyjamas, really. We don't do crafting in things that aren't comfortable. But yeah, I've got changed back out of my stuff and I'm now deciding, right, vintage photo comes out because you can't have vintage without vintage photo. And ink up all of the edges, and then it's just a matter of adhering everything into place. I had by this point already chosen a piece of green ribbon that was on the desk. I think it's one of those things that you cut out of your tops. They've got the extra loops for the hangers and then you cut them out because they're always getting in the way. I think that's what that is. It's a dark green and it works perfectly with those sort of holly leaves that are on the pattern of the poinsettia. And as you can see here, I have covered most of that pattern paper up. That's how I've learnt to love it. I do, however, go and do some fussy cutting of the poinsettia and the holly leaves and add those back in. But yeah, I do enjoy what I've done. So it's really simple. The sort of the sandy coloured layer, which has got some like spots to it, has now got the brown edge. The blue pattern paper has got the brown edge, and then the foiled panel, which is the reverse of the blue, has also got some brown edges. And now I am fussy cutting a second one of those poinsettias because I've decided I'm going to add it in two places onto the front of the card. So I'm going to add it up at the top and down at the bottom of that foiled panel, and I just think it finishes it off nicely. So I use wet glue for that. I've used sticky tape for the rest of it. I'm just shortening that ribbon that I just tied on, and then I am going to stick this down onto the front of my card. Card is a 6x6 card blank. So one that's already pre-made that I've bought with its matching envelope, etc. So it's just a simple card blank that I'm adding it to. But because the inside of the card is just a plain white and it doesn't quite go with the theme, I do end up doing something to the inside too. So my little paper dolls, I stick these down. I use some very thin tape, it's double-sided sticky tape to stick them down, and then a little bit of glue on their feet because it was just a little bit too skinny for the tape. And then I've got to decide on my sentiment. Now I went through a few different options. I wondered about whether foiling and And then I remembered I'd got these Tim Holtz stickers. So these are old Tim Holtz stickers, and they're sort of like snippets of books and stuff. And I think, oh, that'd be great. So I choose 3, pop them onto the blue paper, and then I'm going to ink up those. And then I think it doesn't quite work as the front of the card. So one of them is going to become part of the inside of the card, and the other one, I then choose another sticker and do the same thing again. So I've got 3 for the outside and 1 for the inside. And although they don't go together exactly, it tells a better story, I think, with the 3 that I choose. So I choose the longest one and put that on first, and then I'm going to add the other 2. Sorry, the other 2. In order to finish it off. And then inside, I decided to use the last bits of that paper. So I've got a little bit of that sandy peachy paper, and then I've got this panel left of the pattern. Again, inking it up and then just adding it as a simple layer. And then I add that additional sentiment in, and I glue that on. I use the sticky tape to add that on too. And then when I'm sticking it into the card, I think it just needs something else. Unfortunately, there was enough of the pattern paper left that I could do another bit of fussy cutting and get another one of those poinsettia and holly sort of like clusters out of it. And I'm going to add that in too. My final point is just to add some gems, because I can't not. So I do add some they're sort of quite a brassy gold glittery gem, and I do add those onto the front, and then I call it done. So it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, this, a vintage style card. I love the foiling in it. I didn't love the paper and then grew to like it, mainly by covering it up. And those paper dolls, I always love the paper dolls. I think they're really cute. It's just not my normal go-to style of crafting. And I love that I've used a little bit of ribbon that was just sat on the desk. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please do like and subscribe to see more. There's plenty more coming. Until next time, bye-bye.